Hello, today we are going to look at graphs of linear equations. All lines have equations, and these equations we call them linear equations. We have a general form of equation of a line, and the general equation of a line is always y is equal to mx plus c. And m stands for the slope. This is always the steepness of the line. M is always the same for a given line, it doesn't change. Then C stands for the y-intercept. And also the y-intercept does not change. It means the point at which the line crosses the y-axis. So for a given line, M and C always remain constant, they don't change. But for y and x, they vary, and we call them variables in this case. So they change from one point to another, but M and C do not change. As I said, M stands for the slope of the line, which is the steepness of the line, and C stands for the y-intercept, which is the point at which the line crosses or cuts the y-axis. Let me give you some examples of equations of lines. The first one could be y is equal to 3x plus 5. In this case, 3 is our gradient, and we say the gradient is represented by m. So you can say that m is equal to 3, and our c, which is the y-intercept, is equal to 5 in this equation. Let me give you another example. We can have an equation like y is equal to negative 1 out of 3 x plus maybe 7. So in this case, our m, which is the gradient, will be negative 1 out of 3, and our c, which is the y-intercept, will be a 7. So I'm going to ask you to think about this equation. If you have an equation like y is equal to 4x plus 9, what do you think is the m and your c? Think about it. M is 4 and c is 9. I'm giving you one more question. If we have, for example, y is equal to negative 3x minus 7, think about your gradient and your y-intercept. The gradient in this case is going to equal to negative 3, and our c, which is the y-intercept, is going to equal to negative 7. So let's look at how you can generate table values for a given equation and then use those table values to plot the equation on a graph. So let us see how you can generate table values for a given equation and then use them to plot the line on a graph. For example, you may be given an equation like y is equal to 2x plus 1, and you may be required to plot this equation on a graph. If you're required to do so, then you'll have to first draw a table and use it to get the coordinates you're going to plot on your graph. For example, in this table, you may be given the x values, or you may be asked to assume some x values and then use them to find the y values. For example, here I may have my x values, for example, starting from -1, 0, 1, 2, and 3. So using these x values, we can get the y values, which we can use now to plot this equation on a graph. If we use our equation, y is equal to 2x plus 1, in this first case, our x is equal to -1. So we're going to come here and put this -1. Later, our y is going to equal to 2 times -1, then plus 1. We shall have this y equal to 2 times -1 gives us -2, and then plus 1. And if we add -2 plus 1, we shall get our y equal to -1. So when the x value is -1, then the y value will also be -1. Let's now look for the y value when x is a 0. So we are going to still use our equation. When x is equal to 0, we shall bring 0 and put it in this equation of ours, which is 2x plus 1. And we're going to have y equal to 2 times 0, then plus 1. Finally, we shall have y equal to 0 plus 1, and our y will equal to 1. So when x is 0, then our y is 1. Then we are going to now find the next value. When x is 1, what is the y value? When x is 1, we're going to come in our equation here and still put in 1. Y will equal to 2 times 1 plus 1. And in this case, our y will equal to 2 plus 1. And finally, our y will equal to 3. So we shall have our y value as 3. So when x is 1, y is 3. So we can generate all the y values for this equation. We can continue and find the remaining two y values. When x is 2, we're going to substitute in our equation still our equation, which is 2x plus 1, and our y will equal to 2 times 2 and then plus 1. In the first place, 2 times 2 is 4, then plus 1, we are going to get 5. And our y is going to equal to 5. So we bring this 5 and put it here. So when x is 2, our y is 5. Lastly, we're going to use the x value, which is 3. So our y is equal to 2x plus 1, and our x in this case is 3. So we shall say 2 times 3, then plus 1. 2 times 3 is 6, then plus 1, and this gives us 7. So our y value is a 7. So in the next video, we're going to look at a different equation. Then after that, we're going to use these values to plot the graphs.